to stop fighting among yourselves, you Shiites and Sunnis. The best place to find Satan, let's say, is within.
What did I just watch? Assalamu alaikum, what's going on everybody? Dr. Jordan Peterson just recently addressed his Muslim audience, and well, it was a mixed bag. Let's break this down. Number 1. Here are the positives from this video. For starters, Dr. Peterson is now aware that he has a somewhat decent Muslim following. He realizes and acknowledges this and therefore made a video about it, which we're gonna get to. On an even more positive note, he has previously brought on 2 Muslim figures. He brought on Muhammad Hijab, and he also brought on Shaykh Hamza Yusuf onto his podcast. This is actually a huge step in the right direction. And finally, Dr. Peterson also went from saying this about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him,
Muhammad was clearly and indisputably a warlord,
to saying this.
as your own prophet himself, peace be unto him, forthrightly said.
However small we think that is, it's actually a pretty major shift. Unfortunately, things went a little bit downhill from there. This brings me to number 2. What went wrong? First and foremost, Peterson's tone was quite condescending throughout this entire video, as if he was speaking to a 4-year-old child who just broke something. I found that quite disappointing. Jordan, Habibi, Muslims make up approximately a quarter of the world's population. There's almost 2 billion Muslims worldwide. Just saying, for your future videos, just keep that in mind. Secondly, his views on Sunnis versus Shias and how Muslims view Christians and Jews, it was just, wow.
It is time for those of you in the Muslim world to stop fighting among yourselves, you Shiites and Sunnis.
At first, I was like, yeah, on a high level, I can get behind that. I get it. I get what you're saying. When I think about it from the Islamophobe perspective, from the perspective of these far-right white supremacists, they don't care if you're Sunni or Shia. They care that you're Muslim. They care about Islam, and they think Islam and Muslims are the enemy, and we're the threat, and we need to be eradicated. So from that end, they don't care if you're Sunni or Shia. So from that angle, I agree. However, when I think about it, I'm pretty sure Dr. Peterson wasn't thinking about it from that perspective. And when I do think about it, I'm like, wait a sec. Many Sunnis and Shias do get along, whether it's just a normal, respectful relationship, or they really do get along quite well, whether it's a normal friendship, or it's marriages. In these marriages, they may create little sushis. And now that you mention it, it seems that mainly certain governments and politicians are causing these issues and want these issues to continue. But that's as far as I'm gonna go with this one. But then, this is what really got me.
Find a Sunni pen pal.
Wow.
Communicate with someone on the other side. Sunnis, do the same.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And then, maybe, reach out, tentatively, to a Christian, or even, heaven forbid, a Jew.
But wait, there's more.
And also time to stop regarding the Christians, and even more specifically, the Jews, as your enemies.
Dr. Peterson, put down Ben Shapiro's script for a second. Hear me out. Muslims call Christians and Jews Ahl al-Kitab, or people of the book. And just a brief Google search of history will show you that Christians and Jews have lived not only peacefully in Muslim lands throughout the vast majority of Muslim history, but have also been given protection in Muslim lands under Muslim rule. Also, just in case you're not aware, not all Arabs or brown people are Muslim. Many of them are not. Millions are Christian, and they continue to live and worship in churches in Muslim majority countries. And by the way, there are millions of Muslims living in the West. You really think we're all just walking around with a chip on our shoulder? Vilifying Christians and Jews. My man, who's got the time for that? We have jobs, we run businesses, we're busy raising our children, or for some of us even trying to get married. It's not easy or cheap. We have to pay rent. Gas prices are through the roof. We have to add flavor to our food. We have to wash our butts. We're busy. We're not thinking about you. So don't flatter yourself. Thirdly, this one almost took me out.
In the aftermath of the extraordinary Abraham Accords, which have laid out the possibility for peace between all the people of the book.
Stating that the Abraham Accords provide an opportunity for peace. Never mind 70 plus years of Palestinian activism and resistance. Just a quick Google search could educate Peterson about Israel and the Abraham Accords. Dr. Jordan, Habibi, peace is not going to be achieved with the Abraham Accords. Because the issue is not with Islam versus Christianity versus Judaism. The issue is Israel and Zionism. Zionism is the political ideology that has hijacked Judaism in order to further their political agenda. The problem is Israel was built on genocide, ethnic cleansing, and till this day, occupation of Palestinians in Palestine, who, by the way, are currently living under apartheid. Christian and Jewish Palestinians who oppose Israel and their war crimes are also oppressed. And by the way, why do I feel like Ben Shapiro gave you those talking points? Is he behind that camera? Benny, habibi, كيف حالك? ما بتستحي على دمك? Fourthly, this one was actually interesting.
Far more unites you with the other people of the book, as your own prophet himself, peace be unto him, forthrightly said, than what divides you.
Doctor, wallah we know. If anything, the biggest thing that unites us is monotheism, the belief in God. The Quran says this.
قل يا أهل الكتاب تعالوا إلى كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم ألا نعبد إلا الله ولا نشرك به شيئا ولا يتخذ بعضنا بعضا أربابا من دون الله فإن تولوا فقولوا اشهدوا بأننا مسلمون.
And finally, Dr. Peterson appears to believe that the issue that has plagued Muslims is the whole Sunni versus Shia issue. Meanwhile, completely ignores how many Muslim lands were carved up post-World War I like a plate of dessert. Dictators propped up to do their bidding. The war on terror, which has only achieved more terror. Occupation of Muslim land. Theft of resources. The creation of power vacuums that allows fringe groups to take control and take power. The killing of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of innocent civilians. I'm pretty sure those issues need to be addressed as well. Professor. In conclusion, I think Dr. Peterson has taken some pretty important steps by bringing Muslim figures like Muhammad Hijab and Shaykh Hamza Yusuf onto his podcast. They were able to address various ideas and perspectives, and even challenged and corrected some of Dr. Peterson's statements. The main issue here was, he is really speaking about topics that he has no knowledge about. I truly feel Dr. Peterson in this case is way out of his depth. And many have pointed to the fact that this could be due to him now working with the Daily Wire, which is founded by Ben Shapiro. So, more often than not, there's likely an agenda. And even though Dr. Peterson has brought on these Muslim figures onto his podcast to talk to him, to challenge some of his perspectives, Dr. Peterson may have heard what they had to say, but I doubt he was actually listening. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and share this video. Support me by subscribing to my channel. And until next time, I'm that Muslim guy. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.